Hello, my name's Chris. I am going to build a boat named Happy Pappy. My dad's boat was Happy Pappy many years ago, and now my son and I are going to build a boat called Building Happy Pappy, a 50-foot trawler. I have done some test subjects on material, and I don't know what happened to the first video, but I'm going to redo the first video on putting it together. But here's the 3 items that I've tested on with wood, fiberglass. So this right here is 1/4 inch Luan. This has been sitting outside in the weather for almost a year, and look at it. I don't know what glue they use or what it's made from, but I'm really surprised it has held up. It's not even starting to deteriorate, and not sealed or anything. So the first thing I did was I made this up with PL construction adhesive. Yesterday my son took it and took that 1/4 inch Luan, and he broke it off that 2x4, and it didn't break at the glue, but it came apart where the 1/4 inch, it was the wood it gave, and he put a lot into it to break it apart. Well, I came back down to the shed. That's where I'm at right now, is in my shed, and I didn't use the PL construction adhesive. So what I did is in between the 2x4 and the 1/4 inch Luan, I coated each side with resin, and then I put some I just to see what it would be like with just a resin, not the PL construction adhesive, which that stuff is very strong. That's just a fastener, one fastener, just adhesive. And let me take this apart. I'm trying to video and use one hand. So, I mean, this stuff that's just a resin holding it together. Just a resin. So it's pretty strong. I don't know if it's as strong as the PL construction adhesive. Here's another one right here. There's another one right here. But this time, I put a resin. Let me get it set up. I took a resin. I put a resin on the 2x4 and on the 1/4 inch Luan. I let it soak there for a while, and then I put another coat on it, and then I took fiberglass, 3, sorry, it's 1, 2, okay, 2 fiberglass cloth I put it on the 2x4, one on the 2x4, and I put resin on it until it turned clear, not too much resin. And then I put another cloth on the 1/4 inch Luan, and I put resin on it until it turned clear, but not too much resin. And I clamped it down. This has been clamped down for 24 hours. And let's see, I'm gonna hold it and unscrew it. There you go. So you can see where the resin come out on the side right there, and the resin right here. I mean, I'm just doing some tests. I'm gonna use I just don't know what this Luan is made of, but it's like I said, it's been sitting out for almost a year in the weather. And watching other people videos of building boats and stuff, you know, they say coat the wood and take a resin. I'm not using epoxy, it costs too much, but take resin, and I think they call it dietylene, to mix in the resin to turn it like water, and do the first coat on the wood and let it soak and wait until it becomes tacky, and then take regular resin and coat it again and wait until it becomes tacky, and then do it a third time, but seal it 100% all the way around. Now I will, when I cut these 2x4s, to length, I will sand it 100% with 40 grit to make a chemical bond. I'm sorry, a chemical bond and a mechanical bond. But when my son gets back, I'm going to see how much, I'm going to he's stronger than I am, see what it would take to tear this apart. This one and this one without the fiberglass, it's just a resin. Now it's showing PL construction adhesive right there, but he tore this apart yesterday and it took a lot, but it did not come apart where the adhesive was. The 1/4 inch Luan came apart and it left part of the Luan glue to the 2x4. So what I did was I took a resin and bonded them together with just resin, just stuck it back together and let it cure for 24 hours. So that's those two pieces. Now I'm going to use PL construction adhesive made by Loctite, and on top of that I'm going to use 2-inch stainless steel brads with my brad gun, brad nailer. And you know, I had sanded this right here, but only sandpaper I had with my sander was 200 grit, and it kind of scarfed it up, you know, it scratched it. But I will use a 40 or 60 grit to really scratch it up, and run a B of PL Construction down. But I mean, I will sand the 2x4 all the way around, and then I would do 3 coats of resin, and then that last coat I will use that 60 grit to lightly sand on top of it. Don't want to sand all the resin off the 2x4. And then I will use PL construction adhesive, run a bead. I'll run a bead right here, and I would take 3/8 exterior plywood. I don't know if I'm going to use this Luan. I'm going to test this Luan a later video. I'm going to take that piece right there, and I'm going to stick it in a bucket of water, and I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it for a couple weeks, a month. So there's going to be several videos on this. But whatever I'm going to use, I'm going to take the stainless steel brad nailers, and I'm going to PL construction adhesive, put it on, and I'm going to shoot those stainless steel brads into this. So it's going to be PL construction adhesive is going to be a fastener 1, and then the brad nailer is going to be fastener 2, and then, you know, on the inside of the boat, inside the hull, resin, and I'll fiberglass this. So that's going to be fastener 3. It's going to have 3 fasteners to hold this together. Now this one is where I coated. This is 1 coat of resin. That's it, just 1 coat of resin. And look at it, it's sealed. It is. I just can't imagine 2 more coats. This is sealed. I all the way around, 100%. The resin I use, I got it from Walmart, Bondo resin. It calls for 8 to 10 drops of hardener in the resin. But what I did is I didn't want to cure fast, so I just did 8 drops per, it's 8 to 10 drops per ounce of resin. So I did 8 drops per ounce. I did 4 ounces, and it went 4 ounces. Did it cover a lot? It just wasn't. I didn't use 4 ounces on this, but I'll show you to the doorway of my shed. To my shed right here. I went from there all the way to over there, and when I built this shed, let's see, it's been here now for 10 years. I did a resin across that bottom. That way, if it ever rains real hard, it gets right there, and I won't ever have to worry about that treated. This decking is treated. I will never have to worry about that, ever rotting. So when I mixed up that 4 ounces of resin, I had a lot left over from these tests. So I kept using that resin right there. I just kept putting it on and putting it on until it was all gone. I didn't want to waste it. Next time I will mix up less resin. So, but this right here, like I said, I'm waiting for my son to come home, and I'm gonna let him I'm gonna let him pull this stuff apart and see what it would take to pull this apart. But this right here, that's trying to say that's 2 pieces of cloth right there. Now, when I do the hull, wherever I use on the hull, I'm going to use chopped strand mat and woven chopped strand down. I've learned on other people watching them building boats, people that builds commercial boats. 3 coats of resin on this. I'm gonna let it set up for 24 hours, and then I will come back the next day, and I will use probably 100 grit sandpaper to scuff it up, and I'm gonna do chopped strand, and then they say let it tack up, and then woven fiberglass, then let it tack up, then another chopped strand, let it tack up, then woven, and then what I'm going to do on that last woven, there's a product called PL ply, and you put down on it and you leave it there. You just leave it on PL ply. I think it's called PL ply. But my last fiberglass on it would be 1708, and that would be it. And then I would put some more PL ply down until I get ready to paint it. They said you can, that PL ply fabric, you can leave it on there for years until I get ready to paint the bottom of the outside hull of the boat. So that's what I am thinking about. But I'm still in the process of testing. Testing. I'm going to be building right outside behind my house a 50-foot trawler. I don't know how long this is going to take me to build this boat. I think it's probably going to be 3 or 4 years, because there's going to be a lot involved. Me and the wife and the son has looked at boats and everything, but I want to build something to our need. I want this trawler style boat. I want some massive fuel tanks. I want to be able to, fill them up and have, I don't know, 1,500-mile range. I'm really building this boat around the fuel capacity. It's going to have twin either 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder diesels in them. No diesel generator. I have been looking at lithium ion batteries, and I'm thinking probably about 8 batteries with solar on the boat. And when I'm running the motors can put a charge on the battery. So this is step 1, testing the material I'm going to build with. And what I would do, I'm going to go back and make another video of coating all this and putting all this together. Thank you for watching. Like I said, the name of this is going to be Building Happy Pappy, a 50-foot trawler so we can travel on. Thank you. Bye.